Talk about starting off the year with a bang. The best fight of the year so far. Talking about competition-wise, I'm talking about 50-50 wise, I'm talking about significant wise, I'm talking about everything wise. Both the Davids, Morel and Benavidez are putting everything on the line. Their undefeated record, their legacy, and obviously their skill to the test. This is Hearn versus Leonard. This is what the boxing fans have been craving for. The best fighting the best, especially in their prime. So you got to give both Davids all the credit in the world. That being said, the way I envision this fight, from the first round, I see Morel trying to establish control. Benavidez, on the other hand, I see him trying to figure out what he's working with. Whoever have the best game plan, the better game plan, more importantly, he is able to execute, that's who's going to win the fight. Obviously, Morel is going to look to box and control distance early and maintain that all night long. Benavidez, on the other hand, he's going to see what Morel is working with. If he's on the move, he's going to chase him. If he stands in front of him, he's going to box him and try to counterpunch him. If that doesn't work, he's going to try to apply pressure. So, however that plays out, if Morel is successful at walking David Benavidez into traps, that's going to be his bread and butter. I see Morel even being able to knock out Benavidez if he does that. I'm talking about walk him into a Pacquiao versus Marquez top of counter, or Gervonta versus Rolly top of counter. Without a doubt, Morel has the power to end the fight. On the other hand, I don't see Benavidez walking in like that. A lot of people don't know that Benavidez has better defense than people think because of his long arms. He kind of like going to shell like a turtle, so he's hard to hit. And he leans back, so while he's applying pressure, Benavidez effectively from the leaning back position, he will surprise his opponents and close the gap by throwing a quick jab. He will transition from leaning all the way on his back foot to his front foot. So when he throws the jab, he's able to close a huge distance in a short period of time, especially with his quick hand speed. That's what makes his jab effective. And he tries to apply pressure by doing so, and all of a sudden he creeps up on you, closes the distance, and throw the craziest combos you ever seen. That's Benavidez's advantage. His speed helps him get there. Well, that's what Morel has to watch out for, is Benavidez's quick right hand counter and quick hook counter, left hook counter. These are the main punches Morel has to watch out for while Benavidez is countering him coming forward, or if he's not coming forward. However, if Benavidez is coming forward, he does have to take his jab away. Morel cannot allow Benavidez to set up his offense with that jab and blind him to do so. Whoever establishes lead hand control most likely is going to win the fight. Now, even though Benavidez have the faster hand speed, on the other hand, Morel is quicker than Benavidez. That's right. If you say how, well, he's quicker with his feet, he's quicker with his upper body movement and things of that sort. If Morel utilizes how quicker he is than Benavidez, especially on his feet, by putting himself in better position, without a doubt, Morel is going to beat Benavidez. Remember, Benavidez is flat-footed. If you keep circling him, not going back in a straight line, I'm talking about circling him left and right, Benavidez have to turn every single time, which that means you're going to be a step behind every single time. As long Morel doesn't get tired, obviously, then that's going to play to his advantage. Well, interestingly enough, that's what Benavidez's game plan is. Get Morel to move and spend his energy early on, kind of like Gervonta did against Frank Martin. He want to burn Morel out, make him use all of his slick movement and waste his energy. Then in the second half of the fight, turn it up on him and take him to the later rounds. I think that's Benavidez's game plan, because he keeps talking about how maybe he's going to lose the early rounds. But you know who else said that? Corrales did when he fought Floyd. You know who else said that? Canelo when he fought Bivol. And we all know how those fights turned out. And that's how I see Morel beating Benavidez. If Benavidez comes to fight and he's desperate in the ring, which I don't see him fighting that way, then I see Morel knocking him out. I see him walking him into a shot, which that's what's going to lead to a KO. If not, then Morel's going to dominate the fight. However, if Benavidez fights intelligently and applies effective, smart pressure, then I don't see Morel knocking out Benavidez if he doesn't let his hands go. Because we all know Benavidez. He's a non-stop punching machine. If he comes forward punching like that, obviously, I see Morel catching him eventually. However, if he plays it safe, then I see the fight going 12 rounds. If the fight goes 12 rounds, I definitely have Morel winning. However, I think it's going to be a fight of phases. The early rounds are going to go toward Morel, and more of the later rounds are going to go toward Benavidez. Either way, I see Morel winning. I'm not a fan when I hear people say, I'm going to lose the early rounds. Yeah, that's a good strategy. However, every time someone says that, they end up getting dominated. And I believe Morel has what it takes to make this look like a Floyd versus Corrales, even though Benavidez does have tremendous hand speed. However, we'll see how Morel nullifies that. At the end of the day, it all comes down to who's going to keep making the proper adjustments during the fight. I heard Benavidez is really good at making adjustments, especially during sparring. Well, Morel, on the other hand, he's also great at making adjustments. However, the key is doing so while not getting hit, taking the opponent's best weapon away, things of that sort. Whoever does that is going to be victorious, without a doubt. This is why I can't wait to see this fight. Morel is not the traditional Cuban fighter who is defensively minded first and offensively second. It's the other way around when it comes to Morel. He's offensively first and defensively second. But when it comes to Benavidez, he has to be both. In fact, he has to be defensively first and take Benavidez's jab away. Morel said, if Benavidez is the Mexican monster, I'm the Cuban Mamba. That's exactly what he has to be. To beat Benavidez, he has to earn his respect. Benavidez shouldn't be able to walk in and close the gap without getting past the jab, footwork, upper body movement, and some nasty counters. That's how you earn Benavidez's respect. He has to feel your power. You have to land precisely. With that being said, my prediction is Morel. That's who I believe is going to win the fight. However, Benavidez can also win the fight. And I will be impressed if he does so, because Morel is one bad man. Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of AKHi TV. Peace. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.